Good morning. It is the 15th of November, and that's a Monday. So our do now is think about how Earth and how we live on it. What is one specific way humans have impacted the Earth's oceans? Have we affected the way the oceans most positively or mostly negatively, and why? There's three pictures at the bottom there. We see some people doing some shipping, we see some fishing, and then we see some cleanup after pollution. So I want you to think about that and write that in your do now in Schoology. Next is our learning target. I will identify the way humans depend on the ocean, as well as how humans have impacted the ocean. I can define and describe runoff. I can define overfishing. I can define artificial reef and describe its effect on the environment. Those are my success criteria. What we're going to do next in class is watch this video, and you're going to click here on the blue link. And as you're listening, listen for what the video says about overfishing, invasive species, and nutrient pollution, because those are some things I'd like you to take a look at and think about after we finish watching this video together. If you're at home, you just click on that little white circle and it will play for you. All right. So what did you learn about our ocean in that video? When can fishing actually help the ecosystem? You know what? You're right. It is when sometimes the population is, we keep the things a little bit in checks and balances when we fish in a way that is positive or that helps the ecosystem, not overfishing. What is an invasive species? Well, there's a bunch of them. There's other animals that can come into an environment or habitat that are introduced, and they can take over. If you remember that barnacle thing we did, that is actually considered an invasive species. Then I talked about nutrient pollution. Oh, yeah, that's when we get runoff of excess nutrient of nitrogen and phosphorus, and that actually causes the algae to continue to bloom, and so we get too much algae, and that's not a good thing for our fish. All right. So what you're going to do is we're going to break out into groups. I'm going to break into groups, and you're going to teach the rest of the class about the impact in oceans. So when the whole group, when you come, you're all going to be assigned a slide. So we're going to talk about that in a second. But when you return, the bare minimum, somebody must have this written down so you can share this, is what is blank? And here's a sentence starter. Oil spills are. How does it impact the ocean? Oil spills impact the ocean by. Is this impact positive or negative? And these slides you're going to work on all aligned to slide 17 in your notebook. If you finish your group's information, make sure you're working on slide 17. And I'd even suggest slide 18. So now when we break you into groups, here's oil spills. There's two little videos you and your group can watch. And here's those three questions and then the sentence starters. You're all going to have access to these slides. So number 2 is plastics and its other trash. You can just substitute oil spills and fill plastic and trash, but here's the 2 links that you'll need. Third group will be doing artificial reefs. That's kind of cool. There'll be one on overfishing. We'll have a group on habitat destruction. And then all together, we're going to do this one on runoff and sewage together, because I really want to make sure we understand what those are right now. Okay? And then when you're finished, complete slides 17 and 18 in your notebook. If you need to do the quiz retake, take care of that while you're in here, and then work on completing as much as you can on the slides. Go back to 14 through 16 if you haven't done that. And then if you have extra time before we're sharing out those slides together, there will be an extra resource slide on slide 19 of the digital notebook. And as always, you can go back to Unit 4's vocabulary. Those codes are at the bottom of your digital notebook. I'd like you to think about this question here. It's an exit ticket poll. A coastal area that once supported a thriving fishing industry is overfished. The number of species found living in the marine ecosystem decreases. Which of these activities is most likely to increase the natural biodiversity? So after today, I think you can answer that. If you're with us, you're going to answer that in Socrative. If you're not, just think about that. And we'll talk some more tomorrow. Have a great one.